Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I got a couple of headlines here. This one I'm going to actually read through a little bit. It's a fairly short article, as you can see. But it's very interesting to take a look at what's going on here in China, where they're using this new, let's just say, using draconian methods to bar people from accessing, if I understand this article correctly, their funds. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a read and see what this is saying. Now it says, Chinese banks freeze billions in deposits. Officials use health. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna say we're gonna just call it H code or something like that. Or I'm gonna just say QR, and QR just represents health QR code, because I don't know if they set some some algorithms on that. So just bear with me, all right? So we'll just go with QR. So officials use QR to bar protesters. Chinese local banks are freezing deposits. Protesters cannot go near banks as we'll just call it QR, right? Anything that deals with the CVPD or anything of this sort, we're just going to call it QR. So when I say that, you know what I'm referring to. So now it says protesters cannot go near banks because their QR turns red. Authorities provided no explanation. Did you look at that? It says, as the Epoch Times, Dorothy Lee reports, several depositors told the Epoch Times on June 14th that the QR on their app turned red as soon as they scanned venue barcodes at Shangzhou, the provincial capital city of central China's Henan province. A red QR indicating potential CVPD patient means the carrier, right, is barred access to all public places, from public toilets to shops to train stations, and faced mandatory queue in centralized isolation centers. So you want to know what's going on in China? They already got what we call FEMA camps, but isolation camps. They already got those set up. And this is what they're saying. They're saying, look, if your QR shows red, that means that you are not allowed in access, right, to all public spaces. You can't use a public toilet. You cannot get on a train. Okay, you can't go to a shop. Which is interesting, because this is more than just showing a card saying, hey, I already took the Vanessa. This is saying that at any point, if we find out that your joint is red, it don't matter what you got. You're not coming in here. And on top of that, you're facing mandatory. Now, it's against your will, whether you like it or yes. We're going to throw your ass in a centralized isolation center. That's what's going on over there in China. And it's not going to stay in China. It's going to come all around. And when it comes all around, it's going to be even more intense. You know why? Because the justification is going to be also intense. All right. These cases of the MP is going up. Okay. It's going up, and it's going up. Now they're timing it correctly. Okay. They're timing it. And at a specific time, they're going to start harping on it a lot. Just take a look 2 years ago when the CVPD first started, back at the ending of 2019. You ain't really hear too much about it up until 2020, beginning of 2020, early 2020. That's when you really heard about it. That's when they really started wilding. Oh, this, that, and the third. But Dabo had even done a video on it. We read an article. We went out to camp. We spoke on it. But people, and even when we spoke about it, we were even pronouncing the name incorrectly, because it was like, all right, well, what's this about? But now everybody knows what it is. So just because right now they're still trying to low key downplay this MP, don't think it's gonna stay that way. It's only a matter of time. They wait till they can have enough plausible cases. It's enough time. Then they come out with their strategic fear mongering. Who knows? This time, this one might actually be doing some real serious damage out here. But we gotta watch and see. Nevertheless, don't think, because this is extreme what they're doing in China. This is draconian. But don't think just because it's in China, that's it. Yeah, I don't gotta worry about that. No, it's coming. All right, it's coming. It says here, they are among tens of thousands of bank depositors who have fought to recover their savings for more than 2 months. Sheesh. The crisis started in April when at least four lenders in the Henan froze cash withdrawals, citing internal system upgrades, but customers said neither these banks nor officials have since offered any information on why or how long, prompting angry protesters outside the office of the banking regulator in Shenzhou in May. So here it is, I put my money in the bank, you freezing withdrawals so I can't come and withdraw any money, and you telling me you doing internal system upgrades, nothing else. You're not telling me how long is that going to take, why are you doing it, what does this mean? No. So that prompted, because you're playing with people's money. It's funny how the bank is your best friend until they're like, all right, now we don't, now we trying to do whatever, take the plan south, and you realize how much of an enemy they could be. Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You try to run to the bank and all these bank runs are going on, and everybody look. What are you gonna do? They're gonna have troops out there with guns. They're gonna tell you it's a bank holiday, nobody's coming in here, and your bank accounts are frozen. Turn around and have a happy day. Have a happy day. Go about your day. All right. It says here an estimated 1 million customers were reportedly affected, which has left many residents' life savings at stake and patients unable to pay for regular medical care. Hard times, huh? Hard times in so many different ways in so many different places. And this is only the beginning of sorrows. Depositors have been cut off for at least 39.7 billion yuan, which is equivalent to $5.91 billion. According to Sanlian Life Week, a state-run magazine. Aggrieved depositors across the country planned another protest in Shenzhou on June 13 to demand an answer, though previous gatherings were met with silence from local authorities and violence from plain-clothed police. So here it is, they got this problem. You try to go do something about it, this is what you met with. And you better hope that QR don't turn red, because, oh man. It says their plan, however, was thwarted again as their QR turned red at the city's train stations or highway entrance. That means what? You ain't going in, you ain't coming out, and they just might come and find your ass and throw you into a queue camp. It says a red code indicates the highest level of risk, meaning the person tests plus, right? We know what plus and minus represent. So the person tests plus, but has been close to a CVPD patient or has visited high CVPD risk areas in the past 14 days. Residents with red code face 2 weeks of centralized isolation. Remember, like we read above, is mandatory. Mandatory. So this is what's going on over there in China. It says they are like robbers, said a third bank customer who was stopped by police at Shenzhou train station on June 12 and required to leave. We're all legal depositors. Why couldn't we have an explanation? It's so scary, one user commented. Yeah, because when they decide to flip on you, see, they have the power, and they deceive you and make you feel as though, you work with them, you do this, they do this, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. When they turn on you, you're gonna realize that you're so defenseless, you're so screwed, because This system has made you comfortably heavily dependent. So at any moment they can say, all right, that's it, now we're done. Then what? If you somebody that's not a drug addict, you got your own power. But if you allow somebody to hook you onto drugs and now you become an addict, you don't really have that power you had before. You don't really have that freedom you had before because now you are subject. As they say, the borrower is subject to the lender. Well, guess what? You're the borrower. They're the lenders. The Fed, the governments, all of these people right here. So you think that they got your back and everything. No. They're about to flip. They're about to flip this thing quick. It says if the health QR is abused, it could be putting digital handcuffs on us. Everyone will become a prisoner from now on and could be stopped anywhere, anytime. There you go. All right, there you go. So this is what's going on in China, and it's getting ready to come over here. Don't think that just because phase one is over that's it. We're done with this. No, Yahushua said pestilence is for a reason. All right, now just to take a look at the headlines for these next ones. This is from MarketWatch.com. It was last updated today. Let's see here. Yep, the 17th today. It says the economy is going to collapse, says Wall Street veteran Novogratz. We are going into a really fast recession. Okay, a really fast recession. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. It says veteran investor and Bitcoin bull Michael Novogratz doesn't have a rosy outlook on the economy, which he described as headed for a substantial downturn, with the likelihood of a fast recession on the horizon. The economy is going to collapse, Novogratz told MarketWatch. We are going into a really fast recession, and you can see that in lots of ways, he said, in a Wednesday interview before the Federal Reserve decided to undertake its biggest interest rate hike in nearly 3 decades. All right. It says here, housing is starting to roll over, he said. Inventories have exploded. There are layoffs in multiple industries, and the Fed is stuck, he said, with a position of having to hike interest rates until inflation rolls over. All right, so yeah, this is a very interesting predicament. What's happening right now is really the domino, right? The first domino has been pushed so far back that the way it's at is only a matter of time. Like, let me make this as very vivid as I can with this example. Okay, when you look, matter of fact, hold on, I need to make this example, right? So let's look at dominoes falling. Let's take a look here. All right, Salakia, pardon me, but I'm just going to try to make this as clear as I can, right? Let's take a look at maybe what's a good picture right here I can use. Okay, here we go. All right, so before you see dominoes, right? You see a set of dominoes piled up, right? And this can continue on and on and on. The point I'm making here is we're dealing with the first domino, because once it completely falls, everything is, just boom, 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 right? And that's going to be the really the full kickoff of everything going down and all hell breaking loose. Now, when you look at this domino, if this domino was standing upright, right, straight, you could have it. Sometimes the wind could blow it back a bit, but then it may still be able to come back, right? Because it didn't fall all the way back. So it wavered a bit, but it could still come back. And you can think of that in Habakkuk, the second chapter. Though it tarry, wait for it. Sometimes the first piece goes back, and then you're thinking, oh, this is it, and then it comes back. You're like, ah, man. Then oh. Now this time where we're at is it has been pushed so far back that it has lost the ability to recover, right? It recover itself like a regular domino would. So now the only other way to go is to fall back and to hit the rest of these pieces. So what we're seeing now is the slow motion version of this domino being pushed so far back that the only thing between it and hitting the next piece is time. Okay, so hopefully that example was clear, but that's what I mean. Right now, the first domino has been pushed, and it's literally, we're watching it in slow motion, about to clash into the next, and then set off that just horrible trend. Or it might have already hit the next and is already going down right now, but that's just an example I wanted to give. And then the next article I have here, which reminded me of this precept in the book of Second Esdras. What is this? You know what? Let me just think themselves. All right, I'm just gonna word search this, and I'll put the links to the articles in the description if I haven't already said that. Um, this here is from Zero Hedge as well, and it says deflationary tsunami on deck, a tidal wave of discounts and crashing prices. Okay, and we know what inflation is. So even if you've never heard deflation, just from context, inflation, deflation, you should have an idea of what that's talking about, right? When prices rise sky high, right, in a very very overview abstract level. When prices rise very high, inflation. When prices start dropping very low, deflation. So it says here, I'm not going to read through this whole article. I just want to hit the main points. All right. So it says, okay, 3 weeks ago, we showed readers what happens when the infamous bullwhip effect reversal takes place by presenting the unprecedented surge in the inventory to sales ratio for a broad range of U.S. retailers covering the furniture, home furnishings, and appliances, building materials, and garden equipment, and a category known as other general merchandise, which includes Walmart and Target. Since then, the ratio has only gotten even more extended, and as shown below, it is now at the highest level since the bursting of the dot-com bubble. Well, what does this mean, right? What's the point of all this? Well, when you come down here, it says, to be sure, to be sure, not every product will see its price cut. Commodities whose bullwhip effect takes much longer to manifest itself, usually lasting several years in either direction, are only just starting to see their price cycle higher. However, other products, like those carried by Walmarts and Targets of the world, are about to see a deflationary plunge, the likes of which we have not seen since the global financial crisis, as retailers commence a voluntary destocking wave, the likes of which have not been seen in over a decade. Basically, you have a lot of inventory and you're trying to get rid of it quick, so you set the price real low, set a lot of discounts, and so you can sell it quicker, right? And like I said, immediately this reminded me of Second Esdras 15, or Second Esdras, what is this, 16 and 21. Okay, because Second Esdras 16 and 21, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. And victuals is really food. But, this is talking here in essence about prices going down, right? You could say like deflation, but really prices going down. So this, yes, it applies to victuals, but there are also going to be other goods that are going to be cheap upon the earth. And as it says, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Because things are so cheap, this is good, right? And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So what does this mean? This means that in the midst, right, in the time where evils are growing, in the time when the sword is getting prepared, the famines are growing, and great confusion is out here, there's something is going to be causing prices of certain goods to be cheap. And that is going to, weaken people's mental defenses into thinking that they're okay again. Oh, things are getting good. Right now, we know right now we're facing inflation. So how is this coming about? Well, that now you have here, they're talking about a deflationary tsunami. This doesn't mean that the economy is doing better or that the crash is not going to happen anymore. But as he mentioned, this is the bullwhip effect. I'm not an expert on it, so I can't give you a breakdown of that. But from what I've gathered from reading the article, right, you're gonna have certain prices of certain goods start to drop very quickly. Okay, so that there's deflation, and that's that's gonna make people think, yo, that's good. Let me no, let me go and buy this and buy that. But you also have other situations where, when prices start getting out of control, companies start price gouging, right, or price gauging, whichever way it's properly said. The government sets a price limit on how much you have to sell a certain product at. And that also, what they do is they do that to reduce the price. So if you go and you buy a dozen eggs for $88 and the government says, no, you got to sell it at $20, that's going to, and that for the consumer, is going to look like the prices are dropping for you. Okay, because of that price cap that the government will set. So that also is a situation that they do in these times that is going to make things also cheaper to buy. And people are going to think that, oh, yes, we things are getting good again, but that's not going to be the case. Okay, we're still good. These famines are still coming. The economy is still going to collapse. All right, and I'm pretty sure these elites are banking on this economy collapsing as the perfect introduction to bring in that CBDC, which we know is going to lead to the MOTB. All right, but anyway, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Stay watching. And in closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.